whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. Today I would like to talk to you about Johnnie Walker. Now, Johnnie Walker hardly needs any kind of introduction. I mean, what, with the red label being the best-selling whiskey ever? I mean, the whole range of Johnnie Walker, for example, in 2011 they sold 18 million cases of 9 litres. That means 18 million times 12 bottles. That comes to 216 million bottles in a year. Oh my God, that breaks down to 592,000 bottles a day. I repeat, 592,000 bottles per day. That is about 25,000 bottles an hour. I'm just saying, it is the biggest selling whiskey in the world. Well, blended whiskey, of course. Now, what I would like to talk to you today is not one of these color-coded labels. You've got the red label, of course, the black label. They now also have the double black. Then the green label, well, that is being phased out and has been replaced by the platinum label recently. Then you've got the gold label, and of course there's also this beautiful blue label, which is a top premium blend. I mean, it's topped off with a 60-year-old single malt in there, so this is quite an expensive one, but also a very good one. I've tried them, and now often people look down upon Johnnie Walker, but that's probably because they've only ever tried the red label. It's not the way to go. Forget about the red label and try the others. They're actually quite nice. But what I would like to talk to you about is not one of these. It's something completely different. I would like to talk to you about this one. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Johnnie Walker Swing. Never heard of it? Have you ever seen this bottle? It's quite nice, isn't it? It was developed by Sir Alexander Walker the second, which is actually the grandson of the original John Walker, who founded the Johnnie Walker company. It was designed by him. It was his last creation, by the way. It was designed by him in 1932, and it was meant to be a unique blend to be purchased, or to be sold, I should say, on cruise ships that went from Europe to America and back. It was a symbol of wealth, those ships, and being able to make one of those cruises, so he wanted something unique for that event as well, and he came up with this one. Now, why do they call it Swing? For the simple fact that this bottle can rock. Look at that! How cool is that? That they even thought about it back in those days. This bottle was supposed to be, you know, you put it on the table, and no matter how wild the seas, your bottle would never topple over. You would still be able to leave it on the table and enjoy a wee dram. Now, what's inside is 12 years old minimum. And you can even still find the Johnnie Walker Swing today. It's still being sold in several places, actually, and it's friendly priced at about 40 euros, if I'm not mistaken. So it's quite nice. This particular bottle, I'm not entirely sure, because this one was bottled in 1978, which means it's got distillates in here, whiskies from the late 60s, 66 up to 70. Because remember, the youngest is 12 years old. Wow, 66. What's inside is a blend, obviously, of at least 35 whiskies. Back in the day, it was at least 35. The fingerprint malt was obviously the Cardew, and then there's also a bit of Islay in there. All the other single malts are sherry matured, and then the packers, the bulk in there, is grain whiskey from Cameron Bridge. It is bottled at 40% ABV. Now the color is a deep bronze. Well, copper. Let's call it copper. It's quite oily though. It comes down the glass beautifully. Well, it indicates quite a full body. Well, they don't make them like they used to, eh? Oh, it's rich on the nose. Immediately sherry there. And a whiff of peat, a nice whiff of peat. Oh, this is good. On the palate then. This is actually quite complex. I've got the sherry there, I've got the dark fruits that you're used to, you have like raisins, some plums maybe, definitely sultanas, just a hint of chocolate. But on the other hand, there's also this nice peachy tang in there. I'm a bit reminded of Klein Leash actually. Touch of peach, and also a bit of salt in there as well. Mid palate, I get the saltiness. This is quite complex actually. Very mild coating, oily. Vanilla and honey obviously. Some caramel. But again, the oak is there. The peat is there. A pinch of salt. This is actually quite nice. The finish is not very long. Actually, it's quite short. It fades gently though. Hardly any spices to speak of. This is a very nice, very gentle dram. Wow, I'm quite impressed. I don't think they make them like this anymore, even though it's still around. There's even, if I'm not mistaken, a Swing Superior in the market as well. I haven't tried that one as well. I haven't tried that one yet, I mean. But if ever you have friends over and you've tracked down one of these, just tell them, well, you know, I'd like to offer you a scotch. What do you say? Oh, yeah, scotch, yeah, right. I'm going to offer you a Johnnie Walker. They will immediately roll their eyes. Oh, Johnnie Walker, what does he know about whiskey? And then you put this on the table. How about some Swing? And they'll be like, that's Johnnie Walker? What the hell is that? Where did you get that? Oh, this looks so nice. What is this? Oh, look at that. Oh. And you will blow them away because it's quite a nice whiskey in there as well. So, give that a try. This old one, I really like this. It's just a little detail, but I really like it. This old one actually has blown in the glass Johnnie Walker and Sons, Kilmarnock. I've actually visited the plant in Kilmarnock just 2 years before it. Well, no, that was 2 years before it was closed down, which is a pity. Diageo's moved his bottling facility elsewhere. But when we were there, we could actually hear the bottles, you know, tingling, ding-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling. While we were there, it was quite amazing actually. It's a huge plant in Kilmarnock, but now it's been closed down, unfortunately. So no more Johnnie Walker will be walking out of Kilmarnock. It will be walking out of elsewhere. But whatever you do, if you do track down one of these, it's very friendly price and it's well worth your time. And if it's an older one like this one, it'll blow you away. It's quite impressive. They don't make them like these anymore. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all for this Whiskey Rambling, and I hope to see you again real soon at another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. Until then, may the malt be with you. Bye bye. Now, why did they call it Swing? For the simple fact